Oh, yeah. Hello. So I just wanted to encourage us as a group, because this came out, and this I didn't date it, but I really feel that we're being told things, and the Coptics are kind of, I guess, there's some prophecies that have been coming through, and they're coming to fruition. I just want you to hear this. I never, because I wanted to stay on a positive note, and John really encourages that. I never read this, but it's something that I did write in 2015 when I was working with John the first year in the World Service Order. So I want to kind of share it. I don't want to, it's a little hard, but it's come to light. I mean, it's come to manifestation. So let me read it, and you can decide for yourself. I'll read the other couple things that I wrote before that came through me. Now, I don't take credit for any of this. I'm the channel, the messenger. It is not from me, of me, but through me. The prelude was a few things that are messages that were kind of affirmations for me. And this is where it starts. As the divine alchemy is sparked within my being, the eyes of my soul reflects the beauty of God's creation. And nature herself becomes one of my master teachers. I came here to learn the art of human beingness, to cut another facet in my soul diamond so that I will shimmer and reflect back even more brilliantly the light and love of my Creator. So just remember this in all those times of our lives when we are under pressure, that God is helping us as co-creators to shape our beautiful souls. And this came as today is the only day, now is the only time, here is the only place for God's eternal grace. And in my heart is our sacred place. And here's the announcement. So those were things, I guess, that came through so I could identify that the source was of love and light, because I always make sure I ask for the source to be of love and light and of the Creator and of unity consciousness and Christ consciousness. And then I'll read the last part, and then I'll give you my short presentation. But they asked me to read this, 2015. Call to all light workers united in the Christ consciousness. We are here to build the kingdom of heaven on earth. The sword we yield is truth, and the shield we carry is love. The battle has begun, and the enemy has surrounded us. The general is Mr. Ego himself, personified and really angry, for his very existence is threatened. Little guy syndrome has taken over, and his soldiers are at the door. Battalions of ignorance and old belief systems and companies of fear, lack, and greed, all defending their towers of self-righteousness and denial. Wake up, turn on your lights, and let's get our boots on the ground. Do with that as you may. That was 2015. Okay. What is your love currency? Love has no box or container. It does not have to be flowers, chocolates, or grand gestures. It can move and flow in many ways and forms. It is the universal light currency. It is the gold that backs the dollar in the unified field of Christ consciousness. Imagine a world where instead of precious metals, gems, stocks, bonds, and resources being traded at the markets, we had a love-backed currency. How would it look? What items or notes would represent this currency? My answer would be time. It is the most valuable asset that we all possess, and the sharing of this precious resource is very sacred to us all. We share it online, on dates. We pledge it in marriage, to family, to children, to employers, churches, phone companies, and the list goes on. Many healers, musicians, poets, writers, speakers, prophets, and dancers, by their own passion and love for their work, make great use of this currency. Many, without even knowing or caring that their stock is very valuable in this market. It brings me to, for some reason, that brought me to the story of Yeshua the Christ in the temple and about currency. And why said, being a peaceful warrior and him spreading love and joy and peace, why did he react so much when he walked into the temple and he saw the money changers and he saw that happening? And I believe it's really paralleling with our times now. And because I think he finally just got frustrated, because he was so kind of ahead of his time. And he just kind of probably was exhausted and frustrated and going in there saying, why am I here? What am I doing? What is this? And I think all of us have come to that place in our lives. And he says, this is not the currency. This is not what this currency is about. This is not what this place is about. And these egoic ideas, or whatever you want to call them, the lower shelf or whatever we want to put upon that, is he's also that he just, I think, finally just kind of lost it after a while, because he's running around sharing love in this currency and thinking that this currency has value to people. And all of a sudden he goes in, it's like they don't see it. So I think that's part of it. I also feel that it was a test to see where the Pharisees really were. Come on, you're hearing a voice and you're saying, and it's saying, this is God. And think of it as you. What would you do? What would you say? You would have to test it. We all test it. I test this voices. I test the voice always. And he was testing, I think, the soul of the church at that time, of the Jewish church. And these leaders, and he was testing to see where their value was. And by doing that, he knew probably what was going to happen. And surely it did. He didn't know what was going to happen after. That was all pure faith and love. He knew that they were so ingrained into politics. They were so ingrained into this facade currency, and he knew that it was time for him to make this love rebellion, to start this love rebellion, and it's been going ever since. And so that being also with the coin and the wisdom there, where he was being tested, and he said, look at this coin. Well, should we pay these taxes? And they said, well, whose face is on that coin? It's Caesar's face. Well, give Caesar what is his. And I feel that now in our time that we're back full circle. I feel things that I've been seeing and watching in our politics, and this kind of, I try very hard not to get political, but it's hard right now, this non-separation of church and state that's put people on the presidency and on this huge world pulpit is a little bit shaded and jaded. I'll leave it at that. You can make your own discernments. I believe we're right back where Christ was in the temple and then in those times. think the face has changed. Our time is different, but I don't think the message is any different. We have been here before. We have come full circle now in our time, the time of Christ. In the Dark Ages, look at the Dark Ages. There again, the Christian right, moral majority, whatever. They're never. That's neither Christian and they're neither Christian or right. If you have, I'm having a hard time with this, of being peaceful with this, because I see what's happening. I see what they're trying to do. And it's not, and also, and when you see that stuff, I think we're being tricked. And the thing is that he, in this, is getting so much power because the name is being shouted. And even light workers and people like myself that don't want, we still find ourselves doing it. So we're empowering this idea. So, I've learned a little bit, this much from the Coptic, that your attention is also your power. So if you're giving your attention, you're giving it power. So the thing that's probably most important for us to do in those situations is to say, I love the light within you, and not empower that part and that negativity and that division. And we see this red, white, and blue. We're forgetting about the white. The white is where we work. The red and blue, we don't need to be so polarized. So we get the white part of that flag, I believe. And I'm happy for that. Enough of that from me personally in my preaching. And back to, as light workers, all increase our love currencies. And I'd like to share, maybe Thursdays, people can share, what are your love currencies? The reason I got this message way back in the summer, sitting on a beach in Beaver Island, sitting next to my sister, and she was talking about her daughter. Her daughter came and she goes, you don't love me. You don't show it. Like all the other kids, their mom hugs them and her mom does this and that. And I'm not, you don't do that with me. And that's why I'm the way. You never did that. Well, and she says, well, this is how I love, is making sure you get to school, making sure you this, making sure that. I said, would you call that your love currency? And I said, oh, I guess this is what the next topic is going to be when John gives me that call and it says, okay, and what's your title? I was one step ahead of him this time. Anyway, so that's where this whole concept came from. And the final push for the new dawn. So as light workers, let us all increase our love currency in this final push for the new dawn of humanity. And I'll leave this with a quote. And then Jordan, right when I was writing this, it actually ended up happening on Friday. Jordan, we pull up these messages in the morning from this website, and it's really very good messages. I believe most of them are really well done, and the channels are very good. Sometimes our stuff leaks into our channeling. That's normal. I think we can't get down on ourselves, just like I got on this little political rant right now. But I think we can't be afraid of that. We're all human, and we need to be patient with ourselves and forgiving of ourselves, and know and learn how to separate the message from our stuff. But Thomas More says, who wrote Utopia, coined the phrase Utopia, says, for what greater wealth can there be than cheerfulness, peace of mind, and freedom from anxiety? So I'm going to leave this. I'm going to bring Jordan back to read this message from the angels that was channeled on Friday. I just finished kind of writing the first part of my presentation, and then this pinged. So the synchronicity was just perfect. So if you can bear with us, he'll read this message from the angels, and we'll wrap on this presentation today. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so Hans and I read these messages from this website every morning. It's part of our routine. The website, in case you're interested and would like to look up some of these amazing messages yourself, is sananda.website. This one happens to be from a channel whose name is Ann Elbers, and she's channeling the angels, which came through on Saturday, actually.
Was it Saturday? Okay. I don't know what day it is anymore.
Our dear friends, we love you so very much. We are the angels. Your world looks to us like a choppy sea right now, stormy on the surface, and yet always calm and peaceful in the depths of your being. On the surface, there is great division. In the depth of your shared essence, there is unity. On the surface, there is a clashing of ideas. In the depth of your shared humanity, there is a unification of ideals. On the surface, there is disease, anger, frustration, and fear. In the depths of each and every soul willing to surrender to the love you are made of, there is well-being, peace, security, and an awareness that you are all moving toward a better, kinder, more unified world. The birthing pangs continue on your earth, just as a mother giving birth must surrender and exert an incredible labor of love to assist in the emergence of her baby. So too, you, the light workers, are going to be called upon to surrender to the events you cannot control and exert an effort born of love, to be of love, pray for love, be of peace, pray for peace, be the light and the love that you truly are. You will not assist your world by joining in the chaos. You will not assist your world by the stance of righteousness, judgment, and superiority. You will not assist your world by trying to force light into anyone's darkness. Instead, be the light. Be the love. Be the peacekeeper. Be the one who gets up in the morning and appreciates your pillow for cradling your head at night. Love the soap and water in your shower. Love your breakfast. Give thanks for your home. Give thanks for your family. Pet your dog. Praise your children. Appreciate your partners. Then pray, dear ones, for all human hearts to be uplifted. Pray for the hurting to be soothed. Pray for the fearful to feel God's love. Pray for yourself to be at peace. When you look at someone, imagine the spark of light in their hearts growing brighter until you imagine them glowing with this light. Telepathically whisper to each soul that you see, whether in your physical presence or in the media, you are loved. Do this for all souls, not just the ones that you agree with. For all, regardless of their beliefs or behaviors, are sourced from the same light. As you silently bear witness to the inner light, you help others remember who they really are. As you telepathically whisper to souls, you send a vibrational wave of love to them, which their soul will energetically interpret and feel. Your emanation of love might just be the one that calms the hurting heart of a person who is about to become violent. Your telepathic whisper might be the one that soothes a soul who was in so much pain that they were preparing to exit the planet by their own hand. Your love might be a wave of peace that lifts a spirit before they fall into the depths of despair and resignation. You may never meet these souls. You may never know them. Nonetheless, in the depth of your shared essence, you are connected, and your love matters. Your vibration matters. Love. Consciously, intentionally, in every moment that you possibly can. Love your technology. Wash your dishes with love. When you are driving in your car or doing mundane tasks, repeat simple truths as if you could whisper to all souls. You are loved. You matter. Say, I love you to anyone, anything, and everything you can, even in the privacy of your own heart. I love you, world. I love you, dear stranger in the grocery store. I love the light within you, dear soul on the news, whose words I cannot stand. I love you, human race. I want you to know that you are loved. You are all loved more than you could ever imagine, and you are guided. You have legions of angels and other dimensional beings sending light to your planet right now. You have a team to personally support your every thought, your word, and deed of love. As for your help, when you are upset, breathe slowly and deeply. Search with your feelings to feel our love. Breathe. Focus on any good feelings in your body. Imagine that you are loved and surrounded by a warm, fuzzy field of comforting light, because you are. When you are afraid, ask us to help you. Rest in the peace of the divine. Breathe. Imagine you are surrounded by angels. Imagine your home and your neighborhood or business glowing with and surrounded by and protected by the light of the divine. Affirm that wherever you live or wherever you go, the space in you and around you is a sanctuary for peace. Dear ones, you can either allow peace to rise up from the depths of your being, or you can allow the world to infiltrate your mind with its chaos. Focus on that which gives you joy, peace, contentment, inspiration, and hope. Know that just as easily as you can choose a new thought, you can choose a better, higher, more loving, and peaceful vibration. You are lights upon this earth. You are the midwives of a new, greater reality. You are the hands, the eyes, and the heart of the divine. Love everywhere and anywhere you can. For no emanation of love is ever insignificant. Your seemingly small choices may be well the vibration that shifts the balance in a hurting heart or a hurting world. God bless you. We love you more than you can possibly imagine. The angels.
Amen. So increase that love currency.
What a great topic for this time. Love is so much needed. It's what the abundance of what we need, and it stems from everything that will come from love, whether it's people that cross our lives, physical things. I'm taking from your presentation tonight, and everything that we dream about to want to manifest in our lives. It comes from our love currency. I think that's what you mentioned about putting your love currency list together. And what are some of yours on your list, Hans?
Cooking, my garden, and my animals, and I think being aware, the awareness of it, and I want to add to my list. So every day I want to try to add to my list of one extra thing I do to put more current in that river. And I think that's what everybody's doing right now to transmute this energy. I think it's really, really great. And
Hans,
yes,
I think that one of your greatest love currencies is your service, your heart of service to whoever, needs your help. You're there for us. You're there for them. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. So my challenge to everybody, I guess, is to bring one new type of currency into your portfolio.
Does anyone have questions for Hans or Jordan tonight about the presentation, about the angel message? That was powerful.
Back, Joan.
Thank you for that angel message. That was perfect. Perfect.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful. Outstanding.
Well, talk about synchronization. It's always there.
Yes, exactly.
You always look as a dancer for that perfect timing, and it's right there. The universe has always had it.
Mm-hmm.
What was the website again that you got it? Sananda something?
Sananda.website.
Website. Okay.
And you have to be discerning too, because like I said, you'll see, and even when I read the Bible and stuff like that, if you read it with your heart, you're going to see the difference. Sometimes it's hard for those channels not to bleed their own stuff into their messages.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them are very pure. I think these channels are very seasoned. but you're going to see there's going to be some that you know they're calling to arms, they're doing this and that, and it's just where your heart is, and you know I just say the reason I'm saying that because I did send this out to a friend in Arizona, and she got a little. She got one message and she didn't like it, like because it was talking about Trump, it was talking about specific things, and it was somewhat scary and negative. And I just, you know, reassured her. I say, you know, you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'll just say that. And you gotta be discerning in what you take from these, and you know, it's like everything else in life. But it did probably triggered what needed to be triggered in her, you know. But to look
So Hans, that website that you're referring to, I'm having a hard time guessing how is it spelled. Can you spell it out for us?
SANANDA. A lot of D.
I have it, but how do I find the one you just mentioned?
So
It's not
if you scroll all the way down to the bottom,
right.
there is a place
Archive
in the month, by the month.
by the archive, right?
Yep. And if you do it by the month and choose November, and then
Right.
go down a couple of days until you get to the 14th, and you'll see it there.
Oh, alto channeling? No, that's not it. No.
No, it should be
Angel.
the Angels.
Angels
Albers.
by Ann Albers found it. Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Now, when my buddy there in Arizona, which is funny, her company was called Zohar Entertainment. That's how I know her. She was a producer of mine out west. Zohar. I mentioned somebody's talking about the Zohar, something.
Dina.
Yeah. We put back in touch because I've been planning on kind of getting back out to Arizona, doing some things with Sedona and the Coptics. I've been led to connect the Coptic Center to a place in Sedona, some people in Sedona. Haven't met them yet.
That's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful spiritual place. Yeah.
She was one that, but there's an arc there between the Coptics and Sidonians, I guess you want to say. Yeah, she said, oh, well, now I had to, she had to pay for this and this and that and the other thing. I don't know how Jordan has us signed up, but I know they've really set me on set my day in the right direction a lot, just reading these messages. And sometimes I'll read some copy, some Hamid Bey's stuff, but this is something we do together, she and I, in the morning.
So with this website, there are free messages that are available every day.
We do the free messages.
And then every month you have the option to choose or to pay into it to be a member. And if you want the membership, it just opens a few extra messages that aren't available for free.
Yeah. So I think she's going through that dark night of the soul. I think everybody's getting that flash of light, that little light bath. So it does trigger those things in us, those fears. And I think that's what the planet's kind of going through on the whole. Our country is going through as a whole. I remember when I first started getting this light and feeling this illumination, you know, I got a little paranoid. I got a little crazy. I don't know if anybody else has gone through that process, but I know I did. I questioned my whole reality because of the programming. We get programmed. So that's how
I was telling John, I think of course I was young, but I think the most peaceful, happy, idyllic time in my life were the 1950s. And then, you know, the war started in the 60s, and then we had the hippie revolution in the 70s. And I don't know what the big movement in the 80s was. And maybe
Me first. Me first.
Yeah.
Big 80s movement.
And then, I don't know, then we were old enough to see, you know, politics for what it was. You know, of the people, by the people, for the people. Sure got lost along the way. I wish a rededication could happen.
I think it is happening. I really feel the younger people, they're coming in and they're a higher frequency. And we're just here holding the space for them. We are holding.
That's a good thought to hold on to. Absolutely. It really is.
I really see it. You can see it in their eyes. You know, I see the children, and think of this lady. I just got done watching this Greta. This 14-year-old. That's
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg. There's a documentary that just came out with her. There's out of the wilderness, a child. What is it? There's this prophecy from the wilderness, a child's voice or the children's voices or something. And I just keep hearing this in my head. So I probably have to find it somewhere.
And the only one that I can ever think of when you're talking about that is the one that is the lion down and the child shall lead them.
Yeah, the lion shall lay down with the lamb and the child shall lead them.
Yes.
This little 14, 15-year-old girl has started a movement in the world movement to save this planet.
Yeah, all by herself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's got Asperger's.
Mhm.
I forgot that.
Yep. So I
It
think
may be the Asperger's children who are going to change things.
all of them. I mean,
Because I have a great nephew who has Asperger's, and the most brilliant things come out of his mouth some days, and I go, holy smokes, where did he get that from?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, just
the radio.
hold up this little guy, or he's not a little guy anymore now, he's a teenager, but he's got brilliant thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
Once I think that this third dimensional frequency amps up, they can probably function better because they're not on our frequency. So it's kind of like a distorted radio.
Mm-hmm.
Once we can tune in to their frequency higher on the mass consciousness and in our energies, in the energy of our planet, they'll be normal.
Yeah.
With me with the ADHD, elemental P,
Elemental P.
I just put extra letters because the more letters the better, right? PhD. Precious host of divine. That's my letters. So
that's nice. Lori, what would Course in Miracles say about our present time?
Well, you're talking about channeling. Tina Louise Spalding has been. She's been.
Love her.
Have you heard her?
Love her.
Yeah, she wrote Jesus, my autobiography, channeled it through Jesus, and then of course she did A Course in Miracles all last year. She went through the entire workbook every day, channeling Jesus' message on each one of the lessons from the workbook.
Okay.
And it's just beautiful. If you haven't been there or looked at that at all, I really highly recommend it.
Okay.
So where do we?
What was the name?
Her name is Tina, Tina, Spalding, Spalding. And it's called, Channeling Jesus. But all of her videos are on YouTube. They're free.
Okay.
The entire 365 lessons are on YouTube. All 365 lessons.
Wow.
And
that'd be a good New Year's resolution.
Tina.
And for the past couple months, she's been doing 40 days and 40 nights with Jesus. And that has been another whole thing. She does a morning session and an evening session. That's also all on YouTube, and it's all free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really fantastic.
Yes. Her books, if you can get a hold of any of her books, they've really helped me. And, just it's soothing. It helps you know that we're not alone, and that these people are coming through the veil. And people are being able to receive this information, and it's very close to kind of the Coptic mission and ideas about how we see what was happening in that time, with the time of Christ, and when he walked with the disciples and his people, and he was very much on the fringe, as the Coptics are, and the Essenes, and we represent, I believe, that that knowledge and that vibration, and that's what Ahmed Bey came to plant the seed on our soil and here in this continent, in our country. There was a reason for that, and thanks to John holding the torch, we still have a place to meet with people of like mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, everybody else has got their own torch too, so keep that flame going.
Absolutely, just light off each other's flame. Mm-hmm. And there's just, I think it's these old, my last presentation is talk about write your spiritual mission statement. And I can share mine. They asked me, hey, just like a business, write your mission statement as just somebody, is in this world. Here, my mission is to help change, process, and replace old and false fear-based belief systems on this planet and help reawaken humanity to its own divinity. So that's my spiritual mission statement that came about in the last presentation that I did for Coptics that John asked me to do. So
pretty tall order, Hans.
Yeah, I hope I got, I know they got my back on it. For me as little Hans, but I'm trusting that much higher beings are working through me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially the big guy. Mm-hmm. So boots on the ground, right? Boots on the ground.
Put your head up in the stars, right?
Yeah, absolutely.